Never has an F1 transfer caught the public imagination as Sir Lewis's move to Ferrari has. The excitement which had been building up from the time the transfer was announced at the start of last season crystallized yesterday when he arrived for his highly anticipated first day at the Ferrari headquarters yesterday. The interest has been so extensive that Lewis Hamilton is trending on social media as coverage of his first day is being reported across all types of media. This is a refreshing change for a sport that has been flatlining since an F1 cabal outrageously robbed him of his record-breaking 8th title in Abu Dhabi, just over 3 years ago. After coming to understand that Toto and Mercedes were part of that cabal, we produced the video, Lewis Hamilton, Know Your Worth, You Are the Greatest of All Time and Well and Truly Loved, urging him to move to Ferrari, just under 3 years ago. So, you can appreciate that we are truly overjoyed about his arrival at Maranello. We had concluded back then that unlike Mercedes, Ferrari knew what he was worth and would put him first, and lo and behold, it has come to pass. We would now like to take this opportunity to cast an eye over how this move has and/or will affect Formula One. But, before going further, we would like to urge those of you who haven't yet done so, to sign our online petition for an inquiry into the BBC and Channel 4's coverage of what happened in Abu Dhabi. A link has been provided in the description. If you are on X, then please repost our tweet. Thank you. It is clear from all the attention accompanying his arrival at Maranello that there is an unprecedented amount of goodwill and public interest in him and Ferrari. This will be the first time since Abu Dhabi that the F1 pre-season has been swept up in a wave of positivity that could possibly blow away some of the dark clouds that have been hovering over the sport. To the surprise of no one but the cabal and their underlings, the contrived dominance of an unpopular Dick Dastardly WWE-style villain, puppet champion, has not been the success that they envisaged when they robbed the GOAT. Following the robbery, television viewing figures went down in the established regions, and critically, did not grow as anticipated in the US, their highly coveted target market. Ironically, the cabal led by the then almost 81-year-old John Malone, owner and chairman of Liberty Media, the media conglomerate that bought Formula One, with the publicly declared intention of ending the dominance of Sir Lewis and Mercedes, which they considered was bad for their perceived future of the sport, are now in the position 3 seasons down the road, where the very survival of the sport rests on Sir Lewis's success at Ferrari. Should the Ferrari GOAT be involved in a title race this season, one can expect F1 to start turning the corner. Despite Malone's media acolytes trying to claim otherwise, F1's global viewership has been flat since 2022, and in the US, which is their most coveted market, the picture is particularly dire. F1 is the global premier annual sporting event that dwarfs IndyCar, which is basically watched primarily if not exclusively in North America, but IndyCar is getting better ratings in the US than F1. In the US, the month of April is considered the best month for sports, and significantly, during the first 10 days of last April, 3 basketball games combined for better ratings than all of Formula One in 2023. Caitlin Clark, the female basketball superstar, is more popular than F1 in the US. These are clear indicators that promoting F1 in the US is not going as well as the Malone-controlled media would have people believe. There are also other clear indicators outside of Malone's influence, pointing to growing public disaffection with the sport. After Abu Dhabi, fans started booing their WWE-style puppet champion villain at different races around the world, including in the US and the usually reserved Middle East and Asia regions. Many US races, including the Blue Ribbon Las Vegas Grand Prix that was introduced in 2023, flopped for 2 consecutive seasons, as hotel packages and Grand Prix tickets went unsold. It is astonishing that despite the 2021 season being the most viewed and most tightly contested ever in F1 history, primarily because of the way Sir Lewis overhauled an FIA-assisted crash happen, Malone managed to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. Sir Lewis is the most successful driver ever in the history of the sport. He is the only person from F1 to feature in the top 20 of the most marketable athletes in the world. He is the most popular F1 personality by a country mile. It was this popularity that, despite the prevailing tough conditions for the auto industry, caused a record-breaking spike in Ferrari's market capitalization when the transfer was announced, while that of Mercedes plummeted. As the F1 circus traveled around the world last year, fans took the opportunity to show him extraordinary and unprecedented levels of love and support. The two Italian races held last year sold out after successive years of dwindling attendance. It is that popularity that has made the image of him standing outside the Ferrari headquarters go viral on social media, and be reposted widely across most F1 and non-F1 media. It is that popularity that prompted Jacques Villeneuve to comment that Sir Lewis's switch to Ferrari has captured F1's attention because people care, unlike when it comes to Crashtappen, who could leave the sport, and nobody would care. Yet, somehow, Malone and his cabal, in their infinite wisdom, had concluded that generating the worst scandal ever in sporting history, by robbing the only global superstar in Formula One, in front of the highest number of viewers ever in F1 history, was the way to sell the sport. However, there are signs that the now 83-year-old, who has publicly declared that F1 is the future for his corporation, has come to learn the error of his ways, but one can never tell with emperors. But what we do know is that Malone has recognized and accepted that things are going badly, otherwise his longtime right-hand man, 64-year-old Greg Maffei, would not have had to step down as CEO, to be replaced by the octogenarian himself as interim CEO. Even one of their main gophers, Andrew the Toad Benson, recognized that Greg was leaving at a key time for the sport. Although he was very careful not to mention Lewis Hamilton and Abu Dhabi, it is telling that the commercial deals that he referenced were built on the back of the success of the 2021 season, that Liberty Media themselves turned on its head. For example, the figures underpinning the upheaval that transformed Las Vegas into a street circuit in 2023 will have been informed by the success of 2021. But both the 2023 and 2024 Las Vegas GPs were washouts with empty hotel rooms and unsold race packages, despite the assurances that Malone gave. So, it is clear that things have been going very badly for F1 since they robbed Sir Lewis. Any football supporter knows that the appointment of an interim boss is a sign that the club is in trouble, so, a situation where the long-standing 64-year-old CEO that oversaw the robbery is replaced by an 83-year-old chairman on an interim basis is exactly what it looks like. Liberty Media are paying a heavy price for what they did to Formula One, and the irony of it all is that they now need Sir Lewis to have a stunning Ferrari debut for them to turn things around, but ego might make them want to double down rather than admit they have been wrong. Forza Ferrari.